And tempt me, either half full or half empty.
Yeah, I think when I think in terms of, rather than specifics of how the Bible is really attacking me or impacting me right now, I think more in general terms, in the sense of I really believe with all of my heart that God has decided to preserve His truth and to really get it to humans through His Word, by having it written down by so many people over time, and preserving that and really making His truth known. And I think that's the important thing for me, is realizing that every area of my life is covered by this truth, and everything that I do with my life, whether it's my music career and writing songs, which is really a sliver of who I am and what I do, or my interaction with people, my relationships, where I live, how I live, all those things, the perspective to do that really comes from having a solid base in God's Word and His wisdom. And so something that has been built into my life since I was 4 years old, from the very early days, has been to be very aware of what His truth says and how His wisdom applies. My parents modeled this for me in amazing ways, not just requiring religious activity in our home, but just really living in a way, as my brothers and I grew up watching them live in a very practical faith that assumed without question that what God said is true. And so that affects every area, especially relational areas, and especially how I think and what goes through my mind. Perspective is really what I believe it's all about. Having the wisdom of God. I remember when I was a young kid, coming up with kind of my own almost working definition of wisdom is to think like God thinks. And when you start thinking like God thinks, which He allows us to do through His Word, then that affects, your thinking affects how you live and how you act and what your character ends up being. And so from a very young age on, really seeing the Bible impacting my life with the broad strokes, I think has been even greater in a lot of ways than just one specific verse jumping out at one particular time. But that's just it's just in my core, and so I really believe that gives me a perspective to live life and to live in a way that sees other people and sees myself in a lot of the light that God shines on who we are.